Welcome. Today is Monday, January 21st. The Arctic blast has hit Michigan hard. The NFL had a controversial yet exciting weekend of conference championships. Raspberries are wonderful, and so are cheeses. Do you have a favorite cheese? We break down our favorites. And the bird is out of the box. We finally watch a bird box, and we give you our thoughts. Let's go. This is the Matt and Muse Show with Matt Hensler and Adam Musinski. What's up, everybody?
Today was a weird day.
Tell you what, we started late. We ran into technical difficulties, but we figured them out before we started.
True.
So we're good there.
But I'm just saying today was a weird day because I woke up and my phone said, feels like negative 21 out.
It's not warm here in Michigan.
It is warmer now than it was at 1 o'clock in the afternoon by 12 degrees.
Isn't that ridiculous? It got colder. So I woke up at 6. It got colder before it started to get warmer again.
Yeah, it was weird. I was cold all day today.
Oh, yeah. It was not fun. So what we want to know is, what do you guys do when it's cold? Yesterday, I think the high was 2 or something like
yeah,
that.
It was bad.
Single digits and everything, wind chill way below all that. But yeah, we want to know. We had a lot of feedback. What's up, Jake? A lot of feedback. Cleaning, painting, making soup, doing chores, doing nothing, watching movies, sitting by a campfire. Not a campfire, but like a fire inside the house.
It's 2 degrees outside. I'm going to go sit outside.
Yeah, exactly. So thanks for the feedback, the responses. Keep them coming. You're watching us live. Let us know, what did you do when it was so cold, or what do you do?
I'll tell you what I did.
What did you do?
I sat down, said a quick prayer, said my pipes. So far, so good.
Didn't you run into that last year?
Yeah. I the pipe that came out of my washing machine, it froze. Didn't know it, so I ran the laundry, left to go to town, water all over the room.
Left to go to town,
and
I was sagging off.
Well, I mean, I went and ran errands or whatever.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So then I was so stupid. I said, "Man, there's water all over the floor. It came from the washing machine. I'm gonna run it again to see where it came from." Everything was great. Went through the spin cycle and then went to deposit the water into the drain, and said drain was frozen, and that's why water was all over my room. So twice I had water all over my room for the same reason, because I'm too stupid to realize it the first time. That was fun. Tons of fun. So has not happened yet this year.
Luckily, I never had a pipe burst, but I did actually. We have dishwasher issues or whatever. We're trying to figure them out right now. I'm 99% sure I got to run it one more time, then I'll fix it. But the pipe in our basement that goes up to our dishwasher, the water line, the shut-off valve is so old that last time I shut it off, it started to leak a little bit. Planning a party and everything, couldn't get to it right away, but I finally was able to get to it today. It did just, I hate dealing with water pipes. I would rather deal with electrical, I think, than water.
I like mixing the two. A little bit of electricity, a little bit of water. Stand in a bucket, drop a toaster in it. Good times.
Okay, you're angry, now I'm worried you're suicidal. I'm getting nervous here, man. Oh, gosh.
I also went couch shopping yesterday with my lovely wife.
How was that? You buy a couch?
We decided on a couch after 1, 2, 4, 7-ish. 7 hours, I think, of couch shopping. Thank you. I needed
That's
this.
all I could reach, sorry. What you like?
So we decided on a couch, sectional, get the 5-year protection plan. Couches are expensive. I hope Hank doesn't destroy my couch.
That's what I was wondering. So we've never bought a new couch. We always take hand-me-downs. We really want a sectional. Melanie's going to be really jealous that you guys are getting one. Are you going to let Hank up on the couch?
Yeah, at this point, I don't think there's any telling him he can't. It's tough to retrain a dog not to get on the couch after he's been allowed on the couch.
Okay. Here's what I want to teach you. We had a couch. Lucy basically destroyed. And we got new couches.
Lucy's a dog, not like his daughter or anything, but continue.
Right. We kept her off the couch. So put golf clubs on there, something to deter him, and eventually he will learn to stay off.
Well, it's a sectional, so I'm going to need like my entire wardrobe around the couch.
Something. But yeah, every time we leave or go to bed, we'd always throw it on there, and then now we don't even got to worry about it.
Yeah, we'll see.
Something to try.
So with this protection plan, though, it's supposed to protect against like rips and tears and stains and all that stuff. So we'll see. I don't know. I'm just ready for a new couch. So right now, my couch at home, it's a reclining couch, and the footrest is broken off of the couch. I can't even rest my feet upon the footrest. It is just a foot fall through because there's nothing for it to rest on. It's the most frustrating thing ever. I just want to get home from a long day of work, kick my feet up and relax, and maybe have a nice cold beverage next to me. And no, I kick my feet up and they fall right back down. It's depressing. It really is.
I don't have reclining couches.
I don't recommend them.
I always had them growing up, and I always want them, but that's just what I hear. You run into so many problems, it's not even worth it.
Reclining love seat, maybe, be okay.
Yeah.
But a couch is good for laying on. Reclining couches aren't good for laying on because it's got the, divisions in it. Issues. We're worried about this, and, those poor kids in Eastern and Western Africa are worried about malaria. Which mosquitoes not to get stung by. And
we were very fortunate.
We are. Worried about a damn couch. And
right.
The poor kid doesn't even have food for supper.
Yeah, whatever. We're fortunate.
Or lunch or breakfast.
Take it and run. Take it and run, man. Take it and run.
I don't even do much of that. At least they run.
I bike.
Good for you.
Where
is the stationary bike you keep telling me about?
It's in my little storage
area.
I'm
sure. Yeah.
I'll show it to
It's
you
conveniently out of the way.
There's a lot of stuff out of the way right now, so no one sees it. So. Now we're at the bar, not the table, because Jameson's basically taking over that whole area.
I see that. He's got lots of toys. They look like a lot of fun to play with.
Right-handed baseball glove?
Yeah, so no, it's a left-handed baseball glove. Because it makes you able to throw with your left hand.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So my wife and I bought Jameson. Happy birthday, Jameson, in 18 years when you watch this. Oh, thanks for inviting us. It was a great time. So we bought him a baseball glove, and I sent Shayna inside to grab some stuff. I was out in the car with Olivia, and she came out. She goes, I got him a bat, a ball, a tee, and a glove. And I couldn't pass up the glove. It was so cute. I'm like, oh, awesome. So she wrapped it and threw it together. I didn't even look at it. Meanwhile, I'm spending a week and a half trying to decide what glove to buy myself. I didn't even look at the glove that we got for Jameson, and it is a left-handed baseball glove. I didn't assume he was right-handed, but it's more of a chance that he's right-handed than left-handed. So, sorry about that.
He's right-handed. No, it's fine. It's cool.
So maybe this is the chance to train him to be ambidextrous. If he becomes an ambidextrous pitcher, as we've seen, they're very successful. They can make lots of money.
Money. All right. Let's dive in. A quick little overview of the show. We're going to get really sportsy here for the first half. Then we'll take a break, and we'll come back and have a little more fun.
The fact that you say we're getting really sportsy makes it sound like we don't know what we're talking about.
We don't. We're just going to ramble on about basically one thing for the next 15 minutes or so.
So Sunday, Championship Sunday, was a day full of two very exciting football games. I would argue that leading up into these two football games, the entire postseason has been ridiculously boring except for one half. Maybe even one quarter.
I am going to 100% agree with you on that. There was one game that was somewhat close, and it was just the Seahawks game or whatever against Dallas. That was a close coming, like they were coming back to it, into it. So I was like, all right, maybe, possibly, yeah, that could turn into something cool. But I completely agree. The playoffs thus far, leading up until 3 o'clock on Sunday, have been a complete disappointment in my mind. Now, Sunday.
Sunday.
We got what we wanted. We got two very, very, very good games and controversy.
Everybody's upset.
Everybody's upset. We have Lions fans that are upset because of what happened years and years and years ago. That, no one was this upset. Ouch.
The hell was that?
I don't know. Oh, no one was that upset about it when it happened to us on a bad PI call against Dallas when they picked up the flag. I get it. That PI call was the worst missed call in the history of football, okay?
It was.
Not only did they miss the PI, but they missed helmet to helmet. And
hitting defenseless receiver.
Side note, they have not been calling hitting a defenseless receiver or helmet to helmet the last 2 months of the season.
I've sort of noticed that.
Beginning of the season, I'd go like this. Helmet to helmet contact. Oh my God, hitting defenseless receiver.
For those of you just listening, he hit me in the head.
Yes.
This is, once again, an abusive relationship. But we shall continue.
Successful.
What I think is even funnier is that the cornerback that was no called for hitting this receiver came out after the game and said, "Yo, it absolutely was a pass interference. I knew I got beaten that wheel route. I went after him, didn't go after the ball, and I knew it was a pass interference. And I got up, didn't see a flag, and they said incomplete. And I said, oh, awesome, cool." And it's a joke. It's an absolute joke.
No, it totally is. So there's a rule. I'm going to get the verbiage here up. I heard it this morning. It's Rule 17, Section 2, Article 1. I got to dig down, so keep talking.
So essentially this rule, I know what you're going to say, and I'm not really in agreement with the Commissioner Goodell stepping in and making any sort of adjustments to the game, but this rule is in effect for basically, I mean, once you find it, you can read it, but basically what it says is the commissioner can step in and basically have the game replayed or aspects replayed, but go ahead and read it.
It says the commissioner has the sole authority to investigate and take appropriate disciplinary and or corrective measures if any club action, non-participant interference, or calamity occurs in an NFL game which the commissioner deems to be so extraordinary and unfair or outside the accepted tactics encountered in professional football that such an action has a major effect on the result of the game. Basically, if something happens that neither team caused to have happen and it affects the outcome of that game, the commissioner can then go back and say, we're going to play this section of this game over.
Yeah, no, I mean, I understand why the rules in existence.
Yeah, because if like the stadium falls apart or something.
Yeah, or there's a meteor hits at midfield or something.
Right.
Yeah,
but technically, this could happen. Is it going to? No.
Honestly, I think it'd be really bad in Goodell's part to do that because mistakes happen. I mean, there's still that human element of error. Yeah, it was ridiculously blatant, and it was two people missing this call. In all honesty, this reminds me of the Jim Joyce issue with Armando Galarraga with the Detroit Tigers when he had a perfect game taken out of his hands because Joyce called the guy safe when he was obviously out. Same type of thing. There's really nothing that can be done except for the league coming back and saying, "Oop, sorry, we screwed up." It sucks. It really does, and that's almost pouring salt in the wound. But at this point, it'd be terrible, absolutely terrible for Goodell to say, and it wouldn't look good for the NFLPA either. I mean, if the Goodell says, "Hey, yeah, you two teams, the Rams and the Saints, go back out in the field. You got 2 minutes left. That was a pass interference, and you start on it's a tie ball game. You start on the 10-yard line or whatever that was." I mean, that would look bad. That would look really bad in the league, look really bad in Goodell. He'd lose a lot of credibility, I think. But I've also heard the flip side, which, yeah, Goodell should be able to invoke his power and do what he wants. And he's the commissioner for a reason. So,
all right. My side is don't do it, okay? How many missed catches did non-conversion of third downs did they have leading up to this? They could have put themselves where they would not have been in that situation. That's the first thing. Don't put yourself in that situation to begin with, then we don't have to worry about this.
True.
So at that point, you didn't play the rest of the game well enough to not have that happen as a possibility. So I'm with you. Don't go replay the game. It's not going to happen. However, it would so be the NFL to come out this morning and be like, hey, Tuesday at 7 o'clock, pay-per-view, we're playing the last minute and a half of the Saints-Rams game again. And
that would be
and blow it out of the water and make a ton of money.
That would be the most watched
yes
half hour of sports ever.
You would hear so much controversy, so much talk. All of a sudden, every single thing that goes wrong, everyone's knocking on Goodell's door. That's why they won't do it. But at the same time, I can see them doing it because look all this money I can get, and I want money, and I make $40 million, and I want to make $47 million because I'm an ignorant asshole.
I want to make $47 million.
I don't like it now.
I don't either. So here's something else I sort of thought of today, and somebody had brought this up to me. The CFL, Canadian Football League, they are able to challenge penalties. Do you think this is something that's going to take the NFL to that step? I don't know. I mean, that's a huge step.
Yeah, they have to tread very lightly on this and they have to put the language in the rules very specifically, which we know they're great at, is over-exaggerating and over-defining things to the point they're not defined anymore. But my only fear is if you say, yes, you can challenge penalties, can you challenge a call that wasn't made? They'd have to specify that because there's holding on every single play.
Absolutely.
So at some point, they have to look at it and say, you can challenge these penalties if they're called or something like that. There has to be so much definition behind that rule. They can't just come out and say, you can challenge penalties and non-penalties.
But at the same time, though, you've only got so many challenges per game.
Right.
So, yeah, if you want to use your challenge on a penalty as opposed to a rule or a catch that was ruled incomplete but actually was a catch, that's just something new that you're able to challenge. You still have to use them wisely.
Right. So say you use one of your challenges. Say you're down 17-10. You're on the 40-yard line. You throw an incomplete pass to the end zone on 4th down. Do you then get the ability to go challenge, be like the left tackle or the left guard was holding or something, whatever?
That's a good point. Good point.
That's the thing. It's not as easy as just going in there and be like, here, let's do this, maybe we only challenge pass interference calls. But why are you going to let them do that if they can't challenge holding calls or contact beyond 5 yards? Because that happens all the time, or helmet hits and stuff like this. I think there's so much gray area. It's at this point, it's a human element of the game. It's why I don't like instant replay in baseball. It's a human element of the game. Deal with it. You already slow the game down enough. I heard a caller on the radio today call in. He said to put another official upstairs that can throw a flag. And the host was not getting it. Well, why are we going to review every play? Why? It's like, no, you're not going to review every play. In real time, if that official sees something that isn't called, he has to buzz down or something or somehow throw a flag onto that field.
Lawn dart.
Right. Somehow get the attention. And then if the play goes and they move on and he didn't catch it either, cool. I would not give him the views of the broadcast team, though. It would literally be, here's your camera. So here's your 4 views or whatever. You go from each corner or something. This is what you get to see. If you see a penalty, you can call it, just like all the other officials can on the field. But you can't sit there and replay something at all because you're taking that human element out. You're just putting more eyes on the field, which apparently you need. But there's 4 people looking at that. They didn't call it. So if that guy doesn't call it either, we're going to have the same conversation next year.
Absolutely.
There's needs to be fired.
I don't know. This is tough. I do like what Jake sort of just brought up here in our live chat. Either get the call right the first time around, obviously, or I assume this is what he's saying. If that penalty is seen and it is challenged, just replay it. Don't give him the yardage. Replay the play.
I do like that idea, actually.
It's that way you're not giving one team an advantage over another after that human element is taken out of it.
Mm-hmm.
That's an idea, too. And yes, Joe, MSU basketball is great. They just beat up on the Terps tonight pretty big. Another top 25 team. Go green, go white, baby.
Woo, fire up.
All right, moving back on to football. So, yeah, it's tough. It sucks. The Saints kind of got hosed, but at the same time, if it was Andy Reid that mismanaged the end of the game like that, it wouldn't be because of that one call. It'd be all about, hey, look what Andy Reid did wrong in calling these plays.
He's calling Waffle House. That was the problem.
Exactly.
It's a slippery slope. Don't do it. I don't like where this could lead the NFL. Honestly, if they were down 30-10 and this happened, we would not be talking about this today. It's controversy. It happens. We talk about it. If these rules are in place to not let us talk about it, we're just going to put all of us sports broadcasters. Yes, I put me in that. I was in that realm. We're going to put all of us out of jobs, though, because we have nothing to talk about because there's no controversy. We'll literally be sitting here telling you scores, and we told you that we don't want to do that. We're not going to do that. So,
I want to know how those officials got smuggled out of the stadium.
Right.
I'm guessing they did the old-fashioned put your head down, put your hat on really low, bend the cap, put on a Saints uniform.
They probably have cars that drive in and drive out that are tinted out, bulletproof Escalades or something like that. The other call that I did not like, there were tons of them, man. Both games.
In all honesty, looking at both games, there was poor officiating against all four teams. I mean, there's no denying that. It was a rough day of officiating.
Yeah, I don't think any one team got an advantage. If did the Saints get the disadvantage in that time? Yes, but I think at the end, overall, it evened out. They did let them play, but the NFL needs to become more consistent on what they do from the beginning of the season to the end of the season. Because what they did in the beginning of the season is not what they just did this past week.
Oh, absolutely not.
And I think that's starting to hurt the NFL's officiating credibility moving forward, which is why I think Al Riveron, the NFL head of officials, is on his way out. If he doesn't get fired, I'll go fire him.
Oh, I didn't know he had that power. It's pretty impressive.
I can do whatever I want. The other call,
I'm Rick James, bitch.
Exactly. We're not Patriots fans.
What?
We don't like Tom Brady. Everyone out there saw the post last night of the things the Patriots do: steal tapes, pay off refs, deflate footballs, and all that other fun stuff. The call Brady got for roughing the passer when the defensive player's arm grazed his face mask.
It was a swing and a miss. I mean, he sold it well. Honestly, he didn't even really sell it. No, he didn't.
I was waiting for him to flop or something. I had to look at it 3 times before I realized he grazed his mask.
Yeah, he didn't really sell anything. I mean, the official that threw the flag was behind him, and he had a poor angle on what he was calling and said, "Oh, his hand was near his face. Must have been a illegal hands to the face or roughing the passer or whatever they end up calling."
He knew if he threw that flag and made that call, he was going to get a $10,000 check from Tom Brady next week.
Here's someone just thought of. All right, so back to the missed pass interference call. Yeah. At that point in the game, one of those two officials that was watching that play closely, why didn't they throw a flag? They knew it. They had to have known it was at least close to a pass interference. At the end of the day, you can still pick that flag up.
That's what.
I mean, at that point in the game, I mean that was a boom play, live action, but he got there way before the ball. I mean, it was blatant. You can pick the flag up if you're like, no, there's no pass interference. People can be pissed either way. No matter what call you make, there's going to be a fan from one team or another upset at you.
Yeah, I think that's one of those situations where you just throw it. You're trying to induce player safety, and you're all for player safety and whatnot. Throw the flag. Go discuss it. Then you can go to the replay and look to see if he was targeting or anything,
Yeah.
Throw it. Just start it. And this way, if you hash it out and you realize, no, ball was uncatchable, blah, blah, that's fine, we move on, cool. At least you took the time to figure it out. You didn't even put yourself to have the opportunity to do so.
And that's another thing with this Brady thing. When he got called for the roughing the passer, it's what I hate about the NFL, it seems like every time there's an opportunity for an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, there's no discussion. That flag is never picked up. Not in my recollection this season or any season that I've ever watched, have I ever seen a flag be picked up when it's initially thrown for an unsportsmanlike conduct. And that wasn't roughing the passer. The guy that threw it was behind the play. Why couldn't he talk to all the other officials watching the play, and they could have said, like, no, I don't know what the hell you're looking at.
He was going for the ball.
Yeah.
It was very blatant that he was going for the ball. That's why the pass was incomplete. That would have brought it forward.
In all honesty, it shouldn't have been incomplete. He still made a decent throw on the ball. It's the officials. They're either so definitive on something that they think they can't be wrong, or they're so confused or questioning a different play that they don't want to be wrong.
They're not consistent.
No,
that's the problem.
It's supposed to be the best officials in the NFL officiating the playoff games, and so far, I don't think we have seen that at all in the playoffs as a whole, from the wild card round up until this last week. And it's been a mess. It's been borderline embarrassing for some of these teams. And I don't know what to do. I don't know how to fix that. In football, I do not know how to fix it.
I know how to fix it. I just looked this up. You're 28. I'm 30. Okay. I think they need to lower the years of these officials. They are 51 years old on average. They are lawyers. They are attorneys. They're people with day jobs. You need to lower the age of officials, and you need to bring officials in, make it a full-time job. Be like, hey, you want to be an NFL official? Cool. We're going to basically put you through a 2-year boot camp before you can actually get onto the field. Then all you're going to do is preseason games.
Yeah.
Then you're going to do week 1. And then after a little then you can only do week 1 and week 2, and move them on to that. And then this way you are grooming your officials who, hey, your only responsibility is to be an NFL official. You got NFL officials. They go home to a day job. They have other things they need to do in their life to get by.
Okay, but what do you do with these officials that are already in the league? You can't just see
you just start cycling them in. You say, hey, this is our new policy on officials. If you're already in the league, cool. I guess we're stuck with you.
There's going to be end up being a lot of payoffs, though. There's going to have to be.
Fine. If you're a $1 billion league and you're putting this shit on the field, and these officials who aren't making calls and are 51 years old, which nothing against being old, if you can still do the job, maybe that's part of the problem, though.
I miss Ed Hockley.
Yeah,
at least when he sucked, you knew.
Right.
And he had forearms like sewer pipes.
I get it's a tough job, man. I get it. But it's time to look through. You got the game so fast. The average NFL player, 24, 25 years old. It's so fast. These guys can't keep up. It happens. It's nothing against them. They're probably great people.
Just terrible
doing the
officials.
Best they can because there's nothing behind them. So they're just like, wow, look, I'm making $10,000 a game. I work 10 games, I make $100,000.
Yep.
Why don't you
That'd
just hire a bunch of officials, pay them all $200,000, and be like, look, you're at my disposal now. Woo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, we could solve world hunger in this show if we give us enough beer.
Not even halfway through it. Oh man. We'll wrap up this week because we're almost out of time already. Brady's a product of system. I think any quarterback could do what he does if he was with Belichick that long.
Yeah, I mean, on one extent, yeah, but we have no way of.
No, I know we don't. But I do. Belichick is smart, but I am still under the fact that they're both cheaters, and I do not have any respect for them. Super Bowl.
Long story short, New England, not New Orleans. They lost. New England, Los Angeles Rams. They opened up. Rams were a 1-point dog
for like an hour, and then it came back down. Patriots are now, last I saw, was 1.5. So we'll give you our predictions next week.
Yep.
But
coming up, we talk Beer the Podcast, all the government shutdowns affecting the beer industry, give you the top 6 cheeses in our opinion, and break down the latest Netflix craze.
Baby. And just like that, we're back. That was fast, man.
Tell you what, that little transition song we have, I can get into that.
I know, right?
I like it.
Thanks. I made that.
I know. Good job, man.
I'm the man. No, I'm not. All right, I want to touch on something real quick before we dive into Beer the Podcast. Lauren just chimed in. She did picks with us actually a couple times. Any quarterback can be as good as Brady if they work for a team that cheats as much as the Patriots. I completely agree. And then she said, bad calls because the NFL wanted certain teams to be in the Super Bowl. The refs did everything they do to make it happen. I agree that can happen, but this is not the matchup they were looking for. I think they would rather had Breeze versus Brady because odds are one of those would walk out and retire if they won. So just want to point that out there. Yeah.
Yeah, in my opinion, this is the worst possible combination as far as an entertainment standpoint because we don't have the two young bucks slinging against each other.
Correct.
We don't have the two vets throwing against each other.
Correct.
And the old quarterback in the Super Bowl is the one that always wins. So
yeah, exactly.
Who gives a crap about it?
For all these people putting out maps of the United States and Michigan saying we're rooting for the Patriots, no, I'm not, and I'm from Michigan. So thank you. No,
I haven't
we're
seen
not
that map.
I did. It's like all red. When it was Chiefs versus Patriots, it was all red, and then Michigan and New England was blue.
See, I didn't see that one.
Yeah,
I was told to root for the Chiefs by my map.
Oh,
So I like my map better.
I do too. I do too. All right, let's get into this. Blushing Monk, Founders Blushing Monk. Last time it came out was
5 years ago,
15.
2014.
14. Okay, it was 14. I can't remember. A long time ago. Anyways, Belgian style ale brew with raspberries. Cheers, brother.
L'chaim. Assalamu alaikum.
This beer is fantastic. So 9.2%, 20 IBUs, really easy drinking. It'll come bite you if you're not careful.
Yeah, it doesn't taste really boozy, but it's fairly high alcohol.
Yeah, exactly. It's a first quarter specialty release from Founders. Go out there, find it on draft and package. All your favorite stores have it and everything. But we actually have a bonus beer of the podcast here today. So Founders Blushing Monk is made with all these raspberries, and I cannot remember. I used to know the percentage of raspberries more than what they put into Rubaeus. So I figured, let's figure it out. I got Rubaeus. Rubaeus raspberry ale from Founders, 5.7%. This one's available year-round. It's also available in Nitro, which is a fantastic beer as well.
Just by taste comparison there, I'd say it's about 38% more raspberries.
It's
Blushing
something like
Monk
10
than
times
Rubaeus.
or something. It's a lot. But yeah, Blushing Monk's basically Rubaeus' older sister.
Or brother. We don't know what they define as, even though they're pink.
Okay. Older sibling. It does say sibling on their website. Sorry, I'm not politically correct. Sue me. Won't be the first time I'm not politically correct on the show. God.
Speaking of
I
politics.
hate politics.
Politics.
Well, so we're going to dive into,
Politics.
but not really into
No.
politics. You're supposed to say politics.
Politics.
It's over now. You ruined the joke. I'll let you lead it.
So something we kind of want to touch on today is we're in the midst of a government shutdown. It sucks. The reason we're shutting down all that stuff, we don't care about.
We care about it, but we're not getting into it.
Yeah,
on the
I mean
show.
that doesn't belong in this show. That belongs elsewhere about people that get mad about that stuff. So what we're more interested in is the fact that this government shutdown is adversely affecting the brewing industry. Because
every time a new beer is produced and sold across the United States, the label has to be approved by the Alcohol and Tobacco Tax and Trade Bureau, the TTB.
Yep. So essentially all these breweries that are out there, and we're mainly looking at the smaller ones because they may brew a beer and be like, oh, this is really good. Let's hurry up and make in production. We're getting good reviews on it. Oh, crap. We never get a label. Legally, you have to have a label.
To sell it outside the brew pub.
Yep. And, excuse me, the fact that these breweries aren't getting these labels and this bureau is currently shut down, it is not allowing them to produce and sell as much beer as they are capable, which means they are not becoming economically stimulated, and they are just sitting on and hopefully not hemorrhaging, but possibly hemorrhaging money in their brew pub, which is sad, and it's bad, and I don't like it.
Get
And
your act together, Washington.
yeah, to that I say, Washington, please, for the sake of beer, for the love of our suds, do this one favor for us all. Let's get things figured out so we can have new beer again.
I agree.
Amen.
No, it's like eventually, like right now, the beers coming out have gone to the TTV way before the shutdown occurred, but we're getting into that period now of, hey, we got these new beers, we need to sell them, and we're not able to.
So you may know, correct me if I'm wrong, if I make, so for instance, Blushing Monk was made 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And when Blushing Monk originally came out, the label was approved. However, on these new bottles, does there have to be a new date? Or not necessarily? Are those labels still approved from the first time this was made?
I don't think so because it's technically a different beer. Like, because these labels have a date on them. They say 2019. I think it should be like the upper.
Yeah, but no. It's just stamped with when it was bottled. I mean, that can change from day to day.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess I don't know the answer to that one.
That's something to look into also. I mean, some of these breweries, if they are repeating a recipe, why can't they just come out using the same old label they had, as long as it doesn't have a specific date on it?
I bet, yeah, as long as, like you were saying, it doesn't have the date on it. I don't see why they couldn't. I'm into beer, but I guess I'm not into all the legalities of it. Officially, like well enough capacity to discuss this and know this.
I know a guy. I'm going to ask him next time I see him.
You're not going to see him. I'll ask him tomorrow when I see him. I think we're talking about two different people.
Probably.
No, so we'll find out. But anyways, yeah, like Matt was saying, man.
It's sad. I mean, it sucks. Obviously, there's way more terrible things going on than just the brewing industry being adversely affected. There's tons of families whose supplemental incomes are not there anymore. And it's terrible, it's sad, and things need to get going with the government. But this is just one side of things that affects us immediately.
If you are one of those families, for whatever reason you want to listen to our show, thank you. Appreciate everything you do. But there are opportunities out there. I know there's multiple restaurants and stuff helping with these families, giving them food. I know just over the weekend the Pistons gave away seats to all the certain games. If you brought in your not pay stub, but like your badge and ID saying you work for the government, they can let you and your family in for free and all that other fun stuff. So,
which is good. And it's good to see these businesses coming together to support the community and support their fellow man, their fellow American. That's great to see. It really is. But I mean, it sucks. Our thoughts and prayers are with you. Let's get through this together, hopefully.
Mm-hmm. Let's get some new beer back.
I mean, we really want some new beer.
That's what Matt and music care about, beer.
I mean, we care about our families and like our jobs and all that type of stuff too, but beer's cool. We like it.
I gotta find this meme.
Well, while he's doing that, I'm just gonna say that I'm really having fun this evening with you. This is it's a good show.
This is a good show. I can't find it. I'm not gonna spend too much time.
I was just trying to kill time, and I had nothing else to say.
No, you're good. It's basically a Thanksgiving meme, but I sent it to my wife one year, and it's like, on this Thanksgiving, I'm thankful for you. Just kidding. It's beer. I'm thankful for beer. Yeah,
that's appropriate more days than just Thanksgiving. But yeah. I see where you're going with that.
It was funny. I liked it. I don't know. Whatever.
So we're doing this new thing now where every episode we like to tell you more about ourselves, and by doing that, we like to tell you 6 of our favorite one thing. And hopefully that gives you a better understanding of who we are as people. For whatever reason. What
we've learned so far. Let's go through some of these. What we've learned so far.
So we have learned our favorite Christmas movies and Christmas cookies.
Yes. And we have talked about some pizzas. And how Matt is weird and likes pineapple on his pizza.
No, there's a very scientific reason why I love pineapple on my pizza, but we don't need to go there tonight.
I see that. That's all we've done. Oh no, we started this last year. I'm just looking at this year's pizzas. What did we do last? Cookies. We've done cookies, Christmas cookies. We've done Christmas movies and breakfasts.
Breakfast. Yeah.
Knew I'd find it.
Yeah, so. Breakfast is good. Love me some breakfast. So today,
cheeses.
Talking about cheeses.
There's lots of different cheeses, and I always try to make a list of ones I eat when we do these or whatever we're talking about, and then kind of narrow it down from there. Started at your basics, and then it's like, oh, I guess I can include cottage cheese and cream cheese and ricotta cheese. And
I don't mean to sound like
put Parmesan cheese on here. I wasn't even thinking.
I don't mean to sound like a pretentious prick, but I feel like my experience with cheese is much greater than yours.
Oh, I'm sure.
I mean, I kept this very simple, but I love cheese.
See, I'm slightly lactose intolerant, so I don't dive in too much. But
I as much cheese as I can fit in my mouth at one time without vomiting. is not enough.
Nice. No, I'm very basic when it comes to food. Like, I don't try too many different things. I like what I like, and that's what I'm going to eat.
I have eaten a bull testicle. Called Rocky Mountain oysters. Delicious. I have eaten muskrat. Turtle.
Yeah, see, if we went through the most exotic food I have ever eaten, it's been octopus, venison, and bison.
Not very exotic.
Nope. No.
I have a freezer full of venison. That's not
exactly.
Like, it's like it's like, oh, do we want beef or venison tonight? No, let's have venison. Let's mix them together.
Right.
Let's get really crazy. So,
anyways,
yeah, one time I ate alligator, pickled cow heart, and tongue.
we're gonna do a top 6 where Matt just tells us the weird things he's eaten.
They're all delicious. I'm a huge liver and onions fan.
That's why you like pineapple on your pizza.
There's a trick to it. You have to cook it very carefully. You can't scorch the liver. You can't overcook the liver. You have to treat it like a very fine, thin steak. Almost sometimes, if you want to, like a country fried steak, you bread it a little bit and you fry it in a pan. Delicious. Delicious.
You know, I'm glad you put on Facebook there that Ben should cook more, and then your wife called you out on it. I was really hoping you weren't going to make her dinner just so I could make fun of you, but you did.
It was
pulled through.
12 degrees outside, and I grilled the most fantastic steak.
Exactly.
I made a sirloin steak for myself, and I made her a ribeye steak, a little S&P on both sides. And what you do is you put it down for a few minutes, about 3 minutes, quarter turn, so you get those nice cross marks in the steak. Flip it, quarter turn, take them off, you're good to go. On top of that, I made some asparagus and rice and Guinness glazed mushrooms and onions. They go on top of the steak. To die for.
The most odd cheese I have needs is pepper jack.
At least you don't just eat jack.
It's so true though.
All right, so this is going to be a very fun list for me, not so much for you.
No, I'll just run through mine real fast. Number 6, I put Kojak because it's my go-to cheese.
Like Colby Jack cheese.
Colby Jack.
Like the yellow and white cheese.
Yeah. Colby cheese and Jack cheese.
Thank you.
Colby Jack cheese.
Thank you. My number 6? My number 6 is blue cheese. I like the little blue cheese. It's got that little funk to it with the bacteria. It causes that. It's a mold on it. So it is that blue. It's a mold.
Isn't all cheese mold?
No,
or
not the cheeses you eat. It's not a fungus. Most real cheeses are made with mold. Some real cheeses are made with maggots.
You need to go see Gar over at Eastman's Party Store. You guys can talk about cheese all day.
I can talk about cheese all day. Meats and cheeses, man. A little cracker or a piece of bread or toast to put it on. Last night I ate some cheese and some meats. Little crackers, some wheat thins. Delicious.
That's what Jameson eats for lunch.
Well, Jameson eats better than you, then.
Yep. Number 5. Are you done with your number 6?
Yeah, a little blue cheese. I think people know what blue cheese is. Like it in dressings, like it on salads, like it on its own sometimes. A little spoonful of blue cheese.
Lord is eating Cheez-Its. Does that count as a favorite cheese? Yes, that might actually be my number 1. I should have put that. Dang.
What kind of Cheez-Its?
What?
What kind of Cheez-Its? Original?
Original's the only way to go.
No way! White cheddar, man.
No.
Okay, continue.
Okay.
What's your number 5?
Swiss. I like it on a chicken sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're all... I got good cheese.
I tell you what. Swiss cheese is a good cheese. Doesn't break my top 6, but it's a very good cheese. I prefer my Swiss cheeses with either chicken or with my breakfast. But my number 5 is fresh mozzarella. I said it really arrogant because I'm a douche. Mozzarella cheese.
Mozzarella cheese.
But fresh,
5.
not shredded. Fresh.
Oh, God. Now you're getting picky.
No, but I mean, not like fresh. Like, they just made it out in the barn and I'm going to go grab a little ball of it.
Is that why you guys have goats so you can make mozzarella cheese?
No. They're boy goats. That'd be terrible cheese from a boy goat.
Probably green or yellow or something.
You can't get...
I know, Matt.
Milk.
That's what I'm saying. You use the pea instead of the milk. Dumbass.
Okay, moving on.
Number 4. I like provolone melted over my hamburger. Provolone.
So basically, what I'm gathering here is you just go to the sliced cheese section of your local supermarket and grab a bunch of yellow and white cheeses.
Yeah, I went to Aldi and I'm like, okay, these are the cheeses that are available. Which one do I like most? And I left. They're like, what are you doing? I'm like, just make a list of the cheeses.
Make a list of my favorite 6 cheeses I can buy here.
Got homework to do for work. Come on.
So my number 4. Ready for this? Limburger.
I don't even know what that is.
Limburger cheese is a very soft cheese, very, very stinky. It's a big turn-off cheese for a lot of people. I like my cheeses really stinky, and it's great on sandwiches. Honestly,
the first thing that comes up, why does Limburger cheese smell so bad?
It's just the type of cheese it is. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. It's
$56 for 8 ounces?
It's a very nice cheese. So, a Limburger cheese and onion sandwich. That's all that's on it, is this Limburger and just a big old slice of onion.
What's with you and onions?
They're great for you. Have you never seen the movie Holes or read the book?
Yes, I did.
I liked reading that book because every couple pages, another chapter.
I felt so...
Oh, I was so accomplished.
Yeah.
Oh, it was awesome.
Chapter.
Oh, look at me. And then my mom would be like, hey, man, how many chapters you reading Holes today? Mom, I read like 20 chapters. Oh, good job.
How many left? 107.
She never asked that. She never read the book, so she didn't know how many chapters were actually in it. But I tell you what, middle school Matt, genius. Anyway, Limburger cheese, delicious, wonderful, great cheese. But it's one of those cheeses not good with other things other than itself and on a sandwich.
Yeah. I got nothing. Are we on to number 3?
Yeah.
All right. Pepper jack on burgers. At least I pull a food I eat it with.
So number 3 is probably my my most normal cheese on my list. It's a sharp cheddar. I like my cheddar to be very sharp, almost curt.
Can you tell the difference
buds.
between sharp, mild, and extra
Oh, absolutely. Sharp? Have you ever tried?
So, no, because I've never had them like back to back. I just eat them, and then that's yellow cheese, so I eat it. What do you know which one I had here on Saturday? If you had to guess.
All I had was pepper jack. The only cheese I ate when I was here. Sorry.
Make this man food and veggie trays and
I ate everything. Just didn't eat the yellow cheese
the night before.
Tell you what, your homemade Alfredo sauce was delicious. The meatballs very good.
You like those meatballs?
They
made
were
them myself.
Did you really?
Nope.
I didn't think so.
Bought them frozen.
That's what I figured. They tasted very frozen. Everything was great. I just didn't try the yellow cheese. I apologize. I'm a big fan of pepper jack cheese with my meats and crackers. I mean, the yellow could have been just a Colby. I'm not a huge fan of Colby. This is boring. I missed out. It was apparently a cheddar cheese.
Who buys just Colby cheese?
I don't know. You're a fan of Colby Jack. Maybe.
I didn't even know they made Colby cheese.
It was just a yellow cheese, man.
All right. Number 2. Cheddar on tacos.
My number 2 cheese is it's tough between 1 and 2 for me. I mean, I really like both these cheeses and every variety of these cheeses I've had. But number 2, I decided to go with a Munster. A Munster's it's a very creamy, very milky cheese, creamy cheese. Not overly soft, but it's almost more on the sweeter side. It's a very, very good cheese. I mean, I know you're a little lactose tolerant, but it's definitely worth you finding some a little Munster. Some Munster in your life. A little Munster in you.
The only thing I think of
Eddie Munster.
Eddie Munster.
Meet the Munsters, and they get all the Munster guys.
You ready for number 1 yet?
Yep.
Mozzarella on pizza. I don't even know what fresh mozzarella tastes like. It's just mozzarella. You give it to me out of the bag. I don't care. On pizza, that's all I care about. I'm done with this segment.
Gouda cheese is very good.
You're such a dad.
I
That was the worst dad joke
Gouda
I've
cheese.
ever heard.
Gouda's a little spicier, I would say, than a little more curt than the Munster cheese. Another white cheese for the most part. It's great stuff. I implore you to seek out both Munster and Gouda cheese to make your life a little bit better.
I probably won't. I'm not going to lie to you.
Bring over you a meat cheese tray sometime. We're just going to eat some cheeses, and you're going to crap your brains out because apparently you're a little bit lactose intolerant.
Okay, question for you guys now that you're all here. We just went through our top 6 cheeses, and it's more or less Adam's Deli Isle than anything else. What should we do next week? Anybody? You got something? Top 6? We have a list of random things we can talk about. But We're looking for something.
Talk about our top 6 ways to join 2 pieces of lumber. Different lumber joints. You got your butt
cuts.
joint. You got your hair and pinion joint. And you got your biscuit joint. You know, you're using a biscuit joiner before. They're pretty nice.
All your biscuits.
I like biscuits.
This show has just gone downhill since the first half.
You know, when I thought we were talking about our favorite cheeses here, I thought you were really going to get into the cheeses, but nope, it's just your average grocery store cheeses.
That's all I got. I got the cream cheese. I swear to God.
Cream cheese is not very exotic.
It didn't-
I would barely even consider it cheese.
It didn't even make my top 6.
Oh, are you a cottage cheese person?
No, but my friend Deeger makes this awesome cottage cheese dip. You can do cottage cheese and cream cheese and taco sauce or spice, I guess, the little spice packets. And then anything else you want to put on as a topping.
Your friend Dinger?
Deeger. Darlene Eager.
Oh,
She's a wonderful lady. I love her.
no, I'm sure she is. I bet you that dip doesn't sit well with you, does it?
She gave me a...
Oh, I bet you some shredded cheddar cheese on top of that. Big guy.
Exactly. Don't want none of that Gouda.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I do love this.
No, you liked all my cheeses. I know you
do.
did.
They just didn't break my top 6.
No.
No,
No, mozzarella
I
did.
tell you what, these are just my top 6
Oh, God.
as of right now. There may be cheeses out there I haven't tried yet that would change my mind and blow my world, and
So,
you never know. There's some cheeses, man.
I got
Nice goat cheese. You ever had goat cheese before?
No!
All right.
I got to regress to this Deeger story. Top 6 dips. Deeger's. Oh, yeah. We could do top 6 dips. I'm sure you got weird dips, though, so it's not even going to make any sense.
Wintergreen. A grizzly wintergreen guy. Skull, straight cut.
Hard stuff.
Really, beech nuts, my favorite.
I don't even want to tell you this story anymore. I'm done.
I'm ready for it. Lay it on me.
It's not. I don't know. So, Mel and I obviously have been married now for 6.5 years.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
The fact that she's still here is a miracle.
I
Don't worry, I say the same thing about my
know,
wife,
I
but
know.
continue.
So for her wedding shower, Deeger got her a card, and it literally said, "I'd wish you the best, but you already have Adam."
Yay. Wow.
She loves me.
All right, man.
Deeger, not Mel.
That's great. I got no such card. There may have been a card in there that said, if Matt doesn't work out, here's my number. And I don't remember who that was. But
Are you serious?
No, I'm just kidding.
I feel like that's weird.
It was my best friend from college.
right. She lives 2 doors down now.
It's really weird.
All right. Have you watched Bird Box?
So I was going to watch it yesterday, but I went couch shopping, as I said before.
No, that's right.
And I didn't get home till football was on. After football was on. Football's almost over by the time I got home. So I didn't watch it yet.
Okay.
But I think I got the premise of it, so.
Yeah. I don't think I'm going to spoil anything. I'm going to talk about the movie here for a hot second. I don't like scary movies at all.
No, you don't. I'm a huge horror movie fan.
And
you are not.
This was not on the scary side. It was definitely on the intense side, though. Suspenseful, I guess, would be the correct category.
Suspense.
The first half, I will tell you this off the bat, was kind of a letdown. Like, after all this hype, and I think that was the problem, is Netflix and all these people on the internet just hyped it. The first half of the movie, I'm like sitting there, pull out my computer, start working on some new mixes and stuff for the podcast and whatnot. I'm like, okay, this is cool. Like, paying attention. Then something happens. I'm not going to tell this to you because it's freaky. That's actually a freaky scene right there, too, that you're looking at. That's like one of the first scenes of the movie. But I literally got chills. I'm getting chills thinking about this happening and especially because there were babies involved. I think like that you just relate to those types of things a lot more. It was like literally born like 5 minutes before, so it wasn't like mama mama mama. They were like wah, 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 wah. Kind of like you when you go home. Then it just got super intense. That was probably there's one person entered the premise, entered the cast. For those who've seen it, you know what I'm talking about, the dude with the eyes. That was probably the most intense. And then I'll spoil it, I guess. They escape and everything's okay, basically. It was a good movie. I'm glad I watched it. I don't think it lived up to the hype that it got on Netflix, but I think that's just because of the hype it got on Netflix. If I watched it before hearing all that, I probably would have thought, this is a really good movie. But because of all the, oh my God, hype and talking that, I was like, all right.
So there's
I can talk about it now.
There's a handful of halfway decent actors and actresses in this.
Netflix,
this
I mean,
movie.
they got some big
They had some pull, absolutely. Sandra Bullock, favorite movie she's in is?
Oh, God, don't put me on a spot like that. I'll find out. Hang
Well,
on.
mine's The Blind Side because she's the way she acts and the way she looks in The Blind Side, very attractive. That's my favorite.
Honestly, I'd probably have to agree with you looking at all her
That's my
movies.
favorite Sandra Bullock movie. She's a wonderful actress. She really is.
Favorite Matthew McConaughey movie?
Oh man, he's had a lot of really good ones lately.
Mm-hmm.
I like what's it called? Is it Gold? Something like that. But it's not my favorite. Whoop, don't fence. Matthew McConaughey's got me all worked up over here. Dazed and Confused.
Yeah.
Dazed and Confused. I think it's my favorite Matthew McConaughey movie.
We guess we should have done Matthew McConaughey.
All right.
Fool's Gold is freaking fantastic, and I really do like How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. I think that movie's hilarious.
How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. That's a completely different movie.
Ooh. Top 6 menu items at G's.
They don't pay us enough.
Maybe we could work something out. Maybe we should go on premise for that one. Right there on site.
That one right there.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Keep them coming. Keep sending them our way. Let us know. That actually would be really cool to go do that and maybe rank top 6 items. Or something.
Wolf of Wall Street, also a really good movie.
That was a really good movie. So.
Should have a Matthew McConaughey movie party.
Yeah, because our last golf party went great. We should do it again.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, you and I can hang out sometime, just watch Matthew McConaughey movies.
I'm game. Melanie would join.
Shayna loves Matthew McConaughey.
I'm sure she loves him more than you.
She loves most actors more than me.
Top 6 Sandra Bullock movies. Could do that.
I could do that right now.
Keep them coming. We're running out of time. All right. It's been real. You can always reach us, mattandmuse@gmail.com. Call or text, 989-372-1391. 989-372-1391. Please use that. Like, no one texts me ever. It's kind of depressing. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Matt and Muse, mattandmuse.com. All our episodes post on Wednesdays. We'll be back on Monday.
I feel like I just got here.
Yeah,
and now I'm saying goodbye. This is sad.
This is goodbye.
See ya.
That was the Matt Muse Show. Thank you for listening.